Sure. No, old notes. Okay. Good to see everybody, and excited about our opportunity that's coming up on Saturday. Certainly a fun environment. We're expecting a fantastic football game. Rivalry week in week 3. How cool is that? We get a chance to go play right now, and we're excited. Team's excited. Team's ready to go. We'll obviously need all of practice today, all of practice tomorrow, meetings, and then be able to go out there Saturday at 12:34 and kick this thing off at Lumen Field.
How much has the offensive chemistry kind of improved in just the last couple games, just getting those guys out there together?
Yeah, well, we needed to because they've never played together before, and even in training camp, we were still trying to figure out all aspects of really working together, and we didn't have a lot of those guys here in the spring, or at least half of them weren't able to participate or weren't here, or some of them were super young, and all of it kind of is working together now better. Still a long way to go on where we want to be, but I do believe that being out here and the more we can practice, the more we can play, the more we can do together, the better chance we'll have to have better chemistry.
I know that it's not technically a home game or a road game. Do you do a walkthrough there? Do you stay at the normal hotel? Do you stay downtown Seattle? What's different? What's the same?
Yeah, we're treating it like a home game for us, and what that means is we're doing everything here on Friday. We're staying at the same team hotel as we do when we stay at a home game. We don't do walkthroughs in the stadium before a game, home or away. We're not going to do that any different there. We're going to have our normal Friday morning walkthrough here, practice here, and then head to the stadium at about the same time as we would have left if we were playing here at Husky Stadium. So no changes for us in terms of how we eat, how we sleep, where we go, same buses, and then we'll just kind of take it from there.
You said you don't do walkthroughs, period, on the road, or is it just this?
We don't do walkthroughs on the road. No, we'll do them in the hotel. We'll do parking lot walkthrough maybe, but it just has never been a part of our process. Our process has always been that we meet on the road. We'll go to, if we're in the big dining room, we'll move some tables and chairs around and get some plays practiced. But never have gone to another field, never been into that. Don't make a big deal out of it. In my mind, it's the same 53 1/3. It's the same 120 yards. We're not going to look at it any differently. We're not going to make it bigger than it needs to be. And, whether we were playing bowl games, whether we were playing in championship games, or whether we were playing in random first games of the year, we've just never treated it any differently. I can't think of a team I've been at that's been different than that.
Any idiosyncrasies with that stadium, anything that makes it unique that you can recall?
Not that I can recall. Last time I've been there was 2020. Played a great football game there. Did not come out on top. Lost 38-35. Got stopped on the 1-yard line in a game with Cam Newton, which was a fantastic football game. And then prior to that, I think we had some great games when I was at the Rams. We were able to win both of those games here in Lumen Field in 2018 and 2019. So, but both of them were down to a field goal. 38-35 was one, and I think the other one was something like, 34-31 or 34-32. So all those games have been great. Excited about getting back to Lumen. Beautiful atmosphere, beautiful stadium, and I think it seats about 62,000. So hopefully we can get as many of those as we possibly can filled.
How close is Javon Parker to being a full strength?
I see him as full strength. The way he played this past week, I see him. He's getting treatment. He's taking care of his body. I would probably guess he has more in his tank. He probably more experience he has in this defense, the better he'll be because of the fact that he missed 4.5 months. But in regards to his health, I think he's good to go. Now it's just a matter of the scheme and making sure he fits in there.
Coach Jedd mentioned during this week that during your guys' game last year against them that you were the only team that ever broke their sword, that effectively the team quit in the second half. What did you sense in the preparation leading up to that game, and how does it contrast to what you've sensed from the team this week going into the game?
Well, I mean, I just think we prepared for the game the way we wanted to prepare for the game. We ran the football really well. They scored first. They went up 6-0 in the first quarter, and they went for 2 there, and we stopped them, and then we came back and we scored. And then from that point, it kind of just turned into 7-6, 14-6, or 10-6, 17-6, 24-6. But it was more along the lines of, I thought our team played well. Thought our team played together. We ran the football well. We were able to mix the run and the pass. And I'm sure he probably, as the game was going on, maybe he felt a certain way. I don't know. I don't ever think of it in that regard. And I think that this week is completely different. 2 totally different teams, 2 totally different things on the line. And we were coming off of a really, really tough triple overtime loss against USC, where we were up 17-0 in the first quarter and wound up losing 43-41 in triple overtime. So our guys had a little bit of edginess about them. And hopefully our guys will have that same edginess about them this week.
You've had time to really dive into the Washington State team. Do they remind you of anybody you've game planned for in the past?
Remind me of, I think they're really good. If you look at their defense, I've said this now, they're schematically very sound. They play an NFL-style defense. It's like Gus Bradley, it's Pete Carroll, it's Dan Quinn. It's all of the guys that play 3 deep, that mix in quarters, that mix in man coverage, and that will be willing to pressure you at the right time. They have a great scheme in regards to knowing where they're supposed to be in every single play. So when you go against this defense, you're going against, in my opinion, a really good team defense, and that's what they play. They play really good team defense. Offensively, game planning against them, talking to Steve, it's, you're going against an elite dual threat quarterback that has the ability to run and pass at a very high level. He's averaging, I think, 16 yards a carry or something like that, 250 yards on 13 carries or 17 carries. And has a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So he's making good decisions. So we got our work cut out for us. Tough team to prepare for, good football team, excited for Saturday.
How much of an advantage is it to have a mobile quarterback on your roster, and how much maybe have you used Demond in practice to prep for this game?
No different than any other week in terms of how much we use Demond. Demond's a fantastic player. He gets a lot of the reps with the first offense in practice. He takes most of the reps with the second offense in practice against the one defense. We run our practices in a manner where we get a ton of reps of good on good. So we're together 85% of the time. We only split up on 2 fields, probably 15% of a practice. So our defense is able to see and feel Demond. Demond's different than this guy, runs differently than this guy. But I think it's certainly helpful for our defense to be able to have gone all training camp going against somebody with Demond's skill set.
You're playing at Lumen, and does this play into your be a pro type approach? Because here they're in an NFL stadium. Some of your guys, this will be their 4th different NFL stadium, and I think after this game, if they want to do it again, they got to get into the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, it's certainly cool to be in an NFL stadium. It's not as cool as being in our stadium, though. I'd prefer that. I'd prefer to be playing this game at home, to be honest with you. Be at our stadium, be at the greatest setting in college football. But a pro stadium is cool. I think it's got a little bit of aura for the guys. You walk in, you feel like, hey, this is where the Seahawks play. Hey, this is where the Seahawks just won their first game. Hey, this is, the type of environment and atmosphere where there's been great NFL success. But quite frankly, I would love our team to be playing every home game in our place, and then be able to play in the championship games in the NFL stadiums.
Coach, it's your first game as the head coach at UW facing WSU. You think you got a good sense of what this game means to fans across the state of Washington, the alumni, people that have gone to each various school?
Yeah, I think that I could only go off of what I know in regards to rivalries themselves, and I think the bitterness involved in rivalries is comparable at a lot of places. I went to Florida. We played Florida State. Went to coached at Michigan. We played Ohio State and Michigan State. Certainly a big rival between Arizona and Arizona State. So rivalry games mean a lot. There's a lot of anger, a lot of angst, a lot of frustration among the two programs. I would expect this one to be just as much. And I would imagine there's a really, really good dislike for one another. I would imagine there's a really, really good feeling of, we want to win more than any other game mentality by the fan base of both teams. And that's what makes it fun. So I am excited about that part of it. I feel like I do understand how important a college football rivalry is. It is the greatest thing in football. There are no pro football rivalries even close to college football rivalries. You can coach at the Steelers and play the Browns. You can coach at the Ravens and play the Steelers. You can coach at the Niners and play the Rams. You could do whatever you want in terms of the Packers and the Vikings. But in the end, when you look at college football rivalries and the amount of people that lives have been determined by the way the rivalry has gone, there's no comparison in any other sport.
You have a freshman DB whose dad played quarterback at Washington State. How much of a help has Paul been in explaining what this rivalry means to some of the new guys, given that he's also a semi-new guy as well?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it. I don't know if he's talked to the new guys about it. I've asked our seniors to talk to the guys about it, not the freshmen.
Going into this game, give me a rivalry or maybe a matchup that I maybe should really key in on Saturday. What's one position battle or one thing that we should really focus on to see how it turns out?
For me, there's not one position battle. I don't have that. It's a team. We got to play as a team better than they play as a team. And if we can do that, the outcome will be in our favor. If we can't do that, then we're going to have problems. So up front, will our defensive line do a better job than their offensive line? Will our DBs do a better job than their receivers? Will our receivers do a better job than their DBs? But it's all team-based for me, for our program, and we've got to be able to come out and play as a better team than they do on Saturday, or it'll be a long day.
What's Leroy Bryant's status for this game?
I think he's questionable, but probably more along the lines of doubtful.
What's your reaction to the Pac-12 move today?
I just saw it about, 7 minutes ago. It was the first time that I saw it. I don't know. I really don't even know anything about it, so I would hate to give a reaction other than it sounds like a positive for the 6 programs that are now together.
How close is that left tackle battle as Max gets further and further into football shape, effectively?
Yeah, I mean, every battle, competition is an essential theme of the program, and whoever plays best will play left tackle or start at left tackle, but I would expect both of those guys to be playing left tackle throughout the season.
As the season kind of just starts to fill in, Jonah Coleman, I think he's only got 27 carries so far. What's a good number that you'd like to see from Jonah? I know it's going to vary game to game, but at the end of the year,
perfect to me. 13 carries a game, and he's over 100 yards in both games. That's ideal. Keep his body fresh, keep his body in a great spot. If we got to have more, one game we'll take more, but we got really good running backs, and I don't know why Jonah would, Jonah, if 13 or 14 or 15 carries is good, that's great. I'll take that all the time. And we got really good backs. We got to mix them all in there, and I think it's a great situation for Jonah and for any running back that wants to come to Washington to know that we're not going to wear you out. We're not going to put you in a spot where you don't become elite at the next level, but we're going to get you there.
What was he like at the end of last year?
Well, he probably, I don't know how many total carries he had, I think 100. So he was fine. He was in a great spot because we had Mike Wiley, we had DJ Williams, we had Jonah Coleman, we had Speedy Luke. And in this case here, we have a great batch of 4 or 5 guys that we should maximize all of their abilities. Okay, we'll see you after the game. Thank you.